side of the pond.
Yes, fantastic. So just to let everyone know, for those who are brand new to Soul Central this week, and for those who are maybe hopping on after a few weeks being away, I know it's a busy time of year being summer, we are going live today via the Facebook group and also YouTube. If you don't know me already, hello, this again is Soul Central. My name is Jenny. Welcome to my group. I believe I pull in the most awesome, powerful spiritual coaches so we can help you as an online spiritual coach yourself, because as empaths, you tend to help everyone else, but who's here to help you? That's where we are to help you. So in particular today, we do have the awesome Sara Canright, and you are a fantastic hypnotherapist. I've had one of your sessions before about something else, not so much weight loss, but that's your actual speciality today. And we're going to take a deep dive into your work. We do have a presentation for you all today. If you can't quite make the live, this will all be recorded and a replay will be posted into the Soul Central group. So don't worry if you do miss anything right now, but yeah, hypnosis, a very fun topic, I believe, for us to discuss today. So all good. I'm just gonna do a couple more checks just to make sure that I have everything up and running and in order. Awesome. Yeah, you're definitely going to be into you're going to be receiving a right treat. We're going to be discovering how to become unstuck with those unwanted weight challenges. So yeah, Sara, I mean, yeah, over to you basically. Who are you? What's your awesome work and how you can help our audience today, Sara?
Well, thank you, Jen. I'm really grateful that you invited me to be here. It's great to be here and share a few tricks, and really some hacks to helping yourself get on the right track with reaching your ideal weight goals and, putting you in the right direction. So hypnosis is amazing, in a word. I discovered it not that long ago, and it has already profoundly changed my life in so many ways. I believe that all of us go through most of our life with this internal dialogue that is limiting. We are always sharing these words and pictures in our minds, which are our thoughts, and too often they're self-critical. And they can really put us in the wrong direction. So our thoughts that we have really make up the blueprint of our life. And if we're having negative, stuck thoughts, then our life is going to be negative and stuck. It's just that simple. So when you hear people say mindfulness, the importance of that is really just noticing what the internal dialogue is and how you can shift it even a little bit can make massive shifts in your life. So in today's sort of walkthrough, I'm going to share with you some of the types of eaters that are out there. There are 7 that I have identified, and each one of these types holds on to some belief system that is keeping them from reaching their ideal weight. And by understanding them, you can kind of hack your mind. You can tell yourself better thoughts that can put you in a pathway to success. So this is a way that all of us can do this every day. We can take responsibility for our own actions and our own behaviors. But more importantly, I want to talk to you a little bit about how hypnosis works for weight loss, where diets fail. So I'm going to start there. Diets fail because they're really set up for us to punish ourselves. We need to, they count the calories, and we need to punish ourselves with these workouts, and we need to deprive ourselves. And these things are just not sustainable, because the human mind is hardwired to move us towards pleasure and away from pain. And it is even more importantly wired to keep us alive. That is the number one rule of the mind. The number one job of the mind is to process things so that it keeps us safe. And this is happening without our awareness. And when we tell ourselves, you can't have that, you need to lose weight, you need to go on these punishing exercise journeys, what it's telling your mind is you're not safe. We need to do something about this, and we're going to intervene right now to make sure that you are safe. So just inherently, diets to the mind are dangerous. And it's going to do everything that it can to sabotage you and move you back into what it sees as a safer and healthier place. So from the gate, you are in trouble with your mind if you go on a diet. Here's the other thing that happens with diets. Because our minds are ancient, our spirits are ancient. This modern society that we live in is modern, frankly, but everything else about us is just the same as we were 20,000 years ago when we were hunters and gatherers, when we didn't have convenience like supermarkets with prepackaged foods that were convenient for us. So our minds and our bodies are still operating as though we were hunters and gatherers. So what happens when that, think back, in our history class when we were hunters and gatherers, we may not have come across an abundance of food very often. And when we did, we might eat it all in one go, because we don't have refrigeration or any way to store it or carry it with us. So we would go through these periods of eating a lot, and then for periods of long time, eating very little. And so how our body was designed in the very beginning and still is today is to take in the calories, take in all that energy and hold on to it, because our minds don't know when our next meal is coming. So this is what we're recreating when we go on a diet. We go through these long periods where we don't eat very many calories. And what that tells our mind is, whoa, we don't know if you're going to go into starvation mode, if you are going to be able to find that next, woolly mammoth, frankly, to eat, or are you going to happen upon that lush group of berries in the woods, and after you eat them, they're gone. We don't know when we'll find another group of berries. So our body says, hold on to it. Hold on to every little bit that you can, because we don't know when you're going to get more. So when you go on to diets, what it does is it slows your metabolism. It slows it down to the point where your body feels that you're safe, and it holds on to all of your calories. So what happens when you get fed up, you can't take it anymore, and you start going back to your previous lifestyle? If you do, your metabolism is now slower. You're holding on to everything that you eat. So you take in calories and your body just packs it away. It feels like we don't know when this person's going to go back on this thing called diet, and we're going to hold on to all of it. So when you diet, it lowers your metabolism and it doesn't come back online unless you hack your mind, unless you tell your mind it's okay. And this is what people don't do. They say, okay, that diet didn't work. I'll try another one. Okay, that one didn't work. I'll try another one. If diets worked, we would all be fit and slender and happy exactly where we are. But instead, a whopping 94% of people fail on diets. And about 90% of people who diet end up gaining more weight afterwards than they started. And this is because we've effectively slowed our metabolism down. And when we jump started back into eating, it hasn't come up and caught up with our lifestyle. So that's just sort of a brief understanding of why diets don't work. And now I'm going to go a little bit into why hypnosis does. So to do that, I'm just going to give a quick, if it's okay, I'm going to show a quick video of what the heck hypnosis is and how it can work for your mind.
No problem, Sarah. So you'd like me to, for you to share screen?
Yeah, let me do that. And now I think I might have to be host because I don't see that option.
Do you have your share screen button at the bottom there?
Nope, it's not showing up. I think it may be because we're recording.
Allow participants to share screen, which I have done. You can share screen. Oh, okay.
Technical difficulty.
Considering we did our test before we came on today. That's so strange.
It's not. Oh, I don't have any of those buttons.
Oh, okay. That's bizarre.
That's different.
What would you like to do then, Sarah?
Well, let me see. I'm just going to poke around, press a few more things and see if it's going to happen. Well, I'll tell you what, Jen, I will share the video with you after the fact.
Yeah.
And then you can post it up because it's really informational.
Yeah, that's a
In a
good
nutshell,
idea.
I'm going to summarize what it says.
Okay.
Which is essentially 80% of your mind is your subconscious and your unconscious mind. It's not really available to you unless you know how to get there. And the deepest part of it, you can't get there without somebody's help. You can't do that on your own. So to access those deeper levels of the mind, that's where I come into mind as somebody who can facilitate you reaching those deeper parts. And I really love this video because it gives the analogy of your computer operating system. And what it really boils down to, if I'm going to use a metaphor and an analogy, is your conscious mind is everything that's sitting up on your desktop, all the things that you see, what you're interacting with. Your unconscious mind is all of those files, the files that you have to click into, and you have to, open those files, and before you pull things up on the desktop to be able to see them. That's your storage that you have access to. You've got it organized, but you still have to go digging for it a bit because it's not sitting on your desktop. But your subconscious mind is the deeper level of the programming, that portion of the brain where you need to call your IT help to get in there and find the bugs and fix the glitches and make updates. And so I'm kind of that technical person, that IT person for your mind, that I can go in and I can help you to find those outdated, glitchy programs that have been running in your mind likely since you were a child. And we all go through some process at some time of upgrading our computer, of updating it. We install the latest, programs and the latest operating system. We do this on a regular basis. We all think it's totally normal. And if things get glitchy and not working, we go, oh, I know how to fix this. I need to update my computer, or if that's not going to work, I'm going to call an IT guy. I'm going to take it in for repair. We all know to do this. We all think it's totally perfectly normal. But our minds are the same thing. Our minds are our operating system. They are massive data generators. They take all this in. They're storing all of it. But many of us don't think to update our outdated operating system or these glitchy programs that we've been running on for all of our life. So that's where hypnosis comes in and helps. So how hypnosis can help with weight loss is we all have taken in things that really no longer serve our intentions for our modern adult life that we may have picked up from childhood. And I'm just going to run through a few of the things, and some of them may sound familiar to the people on this call. Some of us may have grown up with parents with the best intention. I'm not going to try to say people didn't have good parents or good childhoods, but with the best intention, parents tell us, Susie, Bobby, you need to eat everything on your plate. You must eat everything on your plate. Don't waste anything. You must eat everything on the plate. You're not allowed to leave the dinner table until you finish everything on your plate. I want to see that plate clean. So I know a lot of us have heard that. So what happens? We overeat. We eat beyond what we don't want to eat. And we learn to do this without even thinking about it. We think, oh, we must clean everything on the plate. But I'm here to tell you right now that extra food is waste. One way or the other, your body is not going to use it. So extra food can go into the bin or it can go into your body. And your body is not a bin. So when you take it in like that, you're essentially putting too much in your body and you're making your body the bin. Not a good idea. So some of us may have had experiences where we've gone to Grand's house or we were feeling sad and a parent, a loved one might have said, "Oh, Bobby, Susie, come over here. I love you. Have a cookie, have a cake. I love you. You're special here. I'm going to make you feel so much better with this cookie or cake." So what happens is our brain says, "Great, love. I get love when I have a cookie." When we're feeling down or depressed, when we're feeling, blue in some way, we're not feeling connected. What do we do as adults? We reach for a cookie or cake because our mind says, "You need to feel loved. We want you to feel loved. We want you to feel special. We're going to find some love for you." And you remember when you were a child that you felt that special love when you were handed a cookie. So we reach for our cookies. Those are emotional eaters. Another type of eater is a destructive eater. This is a curious one. You think, why would you want to be how does this even happen? So destructive eaters are putting themselves in a pathway of destruction. And these folks may have had an experience where they might have had unwanted attention from their bodies as they were going through puberty. They feel embarrassed or something happens, so they don't want to be seen. So they eat and they hold on to extra weight so that they're not being seen in this world. And you think, oh, are they just overeating to put on weight? They're not. What's happening is the mind is actually helping them to hold on to the weight so that they build this barrier in a way. So this is really confusing again to the adult mind because we get past that awkward teenage state where we think, okay, I don't want that unwanted attention. And now we're given all these images on the media of what it means to be beautiful and accepted. And there's this disconnect. And we think, how do I become that image on media? But I can never seem to release any of this weight, no matter what I do. I live on air. And still, when I look at a cookie, I gain weight. And we all know these people. And it may be that your mind is holding on to an old program that says, we really don't want you to be noticed. We don't want you to be seen. So we're going to hold on to weight. The same thing is for a child that might have been bullied. And in their mind, they think, oh, I'm so small, and that older boy or girl, or God forbid, somebody in my family is bullying me. If only I were bigger, I could fight back. They wouldn't pick on me. I would be noticed. If only I were bigger. And children do say this to themselves. So what happens? Your mind says, you need to be bigger to be safe. We can help you with that. So these are all ways that your mind can be working these old, outdated programs, and you don't even know they're going on. You don't know they're happening. You don't see it, but it is happening. And so what happens in our a little bit higher in those files that you have access to, they're filed away. They're not sitting there. What those files are doing every day is saying, you're fat, your legs are as big as tree trunks, you can't achieve this, you've tried so many times, you've failed, you can't do this, you'll never be able to do this. That's our internal brain working against us. And that's the part that we can hack. That's the part that we can change just a little bit and have massive change in our lives. So what does that look like? So what that looks like is being mindful of noticing, oh, I'm so big, I can't help myself. I can't help when I eat these cookies. I'm just drawn to them. Everything I do, I have no willpower. Oh my gosh, I'm a terrible person. I'm a failure. I'll never be able to do this. And Jen, if our friends or family said these things to us, we would never talk to them again. Exactly. We'd say, you're not supportive. Yeah. I don't want this energy in my life. Yeah. And yet, so many of us are walking around every day, all day with this internal dialogue. So by noticing it's there is your first step. It's your first step to success. And then changing it only a little bit can make massive change. So when you say things like, I can't help myself. I just cannot help myself. Every time I see a cake, I have to put it in my mouth. By telling yourself, I could have that cake. Sure, I could have that cake. I could have a cake every day for the rest of my life. But today, I am choosing to not have it. That word, I'm choosing, says to your mind, oh, this is a choice. Oh, great. Okay, you're safe. You're fine. You're totally fine. You are making this choice. You are totally fine. I am on board that. You're choosing. We can have it tomorrow, but you're choosing not to do that today. Great. I'm on board. Just walk away. You don't need it today. You can have it tomorrow. Today, you're choosing it. And guess what else? Tomorrow, you can say the same thing. You can say, I like that. And I can eat as many cakes as I want to when I am 90 years old. But today I am choosing to do something healthy for myself. I'm choosing to look great. I'm choosing to feel great. And today I am choosing to reach for a healthy piece of fruit instead of a cake. So it's really that easy. It's wonderfully easy. And I am excited that everybody can do this. It's available to everyone. I'm going to stop there for a second. How does that land on you?
Sara, thank you ever so much. I actually, if I'm honest, felt quite emotional hearing some of that. So I've never actually had a problem with my weight before. If I ever have been stressed out, which I have done, through burnout and running businesses, I've always lost my appetite. But I've seen my mum, when I was a child growing up, struggle with her weight challenges. And for you to describe in detail what the different types of emotional eaters there can be, and to give real good insight as to what is going on for them in their minds, that really touched me. Like, wow, that's quite a hard experience for people to go through. It really is sort of self-abuse without realizing, really. It's quite a damaging association with food, and I'll never really realize the depth of these conversations people are having in their heads when it comes to certain eaters. So it touched me. Thanks, Sara. We are here to help. If you are watching right now and you are struggling with your weight due to whatever reason it might be for you, like, there are ways and strategies, and as Sara puts it quite rightly, hacks, in order for you to make that choice when the choice is there for you to make. So don't feel you're on your own. Don't let it be a problem that you still need to battle against as you move forward, because there are certain things that you can do. Even today, Sara, you do have your 21-day dream hypnosis recording. But before you go into that, just to ask, because this is a question that always comes up, I find, in this sort of space, is, can anyone be hypnotized? There's always that thing like, you can't hypnotize me. Can anyone be hypnotized, Sara?
Well, that's a great question. Thank you for asking. And the answer is yes. Yeah. I'm just going to go with that, because there may be about, I think the estimate is about 1% to 2% of the population has a hard time going into hypnosis. But hypnosis is actually a really natural state of mind, and we all go into it in different types of days. So let me give you an example of what the state of hypnosis is or how it feels. It's just a relaxed state. And if anybody has found themselves driving home and they are thinking of things in their mind, they're thinking of, oh, what am I going to have for dinner tonight? And oh, I have to take the kids to that thing, and don't forget to pick up the dry cleaning, and I need to remember to make that call. And all of these things are going on in your mind. And you get home and you pull in the drive and you go, oh gosh, I don't even remember turning off onto the street. I don't even remember the last 5 minutes of driving, but here I am, I'm safe and sound. That you were in a state of hypnosis in your mind. Your mind was in that. Your mind was in a relaxed state while and taking care of all that driving for you. All of it was being done for you, and that is the same state. So if you've ever done that, you can be hypnotized. If you've ever zoned out, you can be hypnotized. If you've ever gotten so deep into a book or a movie that you're not even aware of people walking around you in the room, you see them, kind of, they're there, but you're so focused in your story that you're reading, that is a state of hypnosis. It's becoming internally focused while the rest of your body is really in a state of relaxation. So when I work with people and they are in hypnosis, they're perfectly lucid. They're aware of everything that's going on around them. You can stop and, get a glass of water or, go to the restroom if you need to. Not a problem at all, because we're just going to bring you right back to it. And all it is really relaxing your central nervous system to allow the space to open up and tap into those deeper levels of your consciousness. So if we go back and think about the technician working on your computer, everyone's computer can be opened at that deeper level. It's just knowing how to do it. And in hypnosis, it's asking the right questions when you're in that state. And your subconscious mind, your unconscious mind, they are more than willing to share information. And oftentimes I find that clients, their subconscious is delighted to come out and finally have a public voice, be able to share some of the deeper thoughts with you on a conscious level. And it's quite a magical thing when you can, I always use the analogy of everyone sitting at the table together. So we've got your subconscious, your unconscious, and your conscious mind all sitting at the table together and coming up with agreement. And that is a magical thing.
And it really is. Just to share with everyone here today, I've actually been under hypnosis with Sara, and I felt very safe. It was a very calming experience. You do have complete control. I knew at that time of being under that I could wake up, and even though you were awake, but get up and have a cup of tea or water if I wanted to. However, I don't know exactly how long we were together for in that way, but it was just a very relaxed feeling and comfortable, and I just felt comfortable being led by Sara. So if you've never had the experience before, don't be scared by it. It's for sure, Sara at the very least gives you a very nice introduction into the way of hypnotherapy, and a very safe technique to use should you resonate with this message today. And Sara, as someone who's actually used hypnosis to lose weight yourself, you've had personal weight loss challenges in your time. Feel free to talk more about your 21-day hypnosis.
Yeah, thanks. So first of all, I want to say I did have some success with it, and it's the funniest story. And it's so unbelievable. And this is what I always tell people. They come to me and they say, well, I'm pretty sure I know why. I'm pretty sure I know why I do these things. I had this experience and this is why. And that's their conscious mind. That's their conscious mind thinks that they know why. I'm here to tell you, you do not know why you do things that you do, because it's unconscious. So my story is kind of funny and interesting. I wanted to lose some weight and was really struggling with it. And first of all, I'm gonna take a sidestep for a moment and talk about the word losing. So in every part of our bodies, or excuse me, in our lives, losing is a bad thing. If you lose your keys, if you lose your way, if you lose your voice, if you lose a friend, these are all bad things and they are to be avoided. You don't want to lose things. And your mind hears that word and it says, oh no, we don't want to lose things. We need you to find them. So right off the bat, you are sabotaging yourself by saying losing weight. So if there's just one thing that I'm hoping this audience can walk away with today, it's change your language. And so from now on, forever and ever, I want people to say, I am releasing weight. I'm releasing weight. Because when you lose something, your mind automatically starts searching for it to find it and bring it back to your life. Because this is the only reference in our lives where we think that losing is a good thing. But your mind, it's so confusing. It does not understand this one reference is different than all the other things that you don't want to lose and you want to find. So I'm just going to start with that.
I love that.
So yes, I needed to release some weight from my life, and I did a hypnosis session with a colleague of mine to try to understand what the heck was going on. And it was so fascinating, Jen, because I went back to a memory of being a child, and I was maybe 4 or 5, and it was my mother and my 2 sisters, and it was around the holidays, and we were doing crafting to make holiday decorations, and we were all doing it. We were all around the table, and it was a good time. It was a lot of fun, and I made my 4-year-old version of this craft. Now, my mother is a lovely woman and she likes things in her home to be just so and look just so. So at the end of it, my 4-year-old crafts did not quite make the cut. It's okay. We had a good time. She had us entertained for the afternoon, but in the end, my decorations did not get displayed for the holiday season. And you think, oh, that's too bad. But, it was what it was. What my mind told me, what I took in as my learning from that was, why do I bother? Why do I bother to do this? It's not going to be good enough anyway. Nobody's ever going to see it. Nobody's going to notice it. I worked so hard at this and I keep trying and I keep trying and I keep trying to do these craft things with my sisters and my mother. And every time I do, it's just really not good enough. So why do I even bother? Now you think, what the heck does that have to do with weight loss? Somehow, somewhere, my mind linked those 2 thoughts. And this is the weird thing. This is why I say people don't know until we go looking how these things get linked together. And so what I told myself was, why do I bother? Why bother going to exercise every day? It doesn't matter. It's a lot of work. You're not really that good at it. And do you really want to get good at it? Because who even cares anyway? Who even notices? And so I just kept defeating myself. I kept failing. I would start and with all this energy and all of this, expectation that this time I was going to be successful. This time I was going to have willpower and I was going to do the videos and I was going to go to classes and I was going to have a support group and I was going to read the magazines and I was going to do all these things. And this time I was going to be successful. And then I'd get this, and I would get this feeling like, why am I doing this? Why? Ugh, I'd rather do something else. I'm sure there's 100 other things I would rather do right now. And I would just waffle and I would kind of drift away from it. That's what my experience was, this sort of drift. I did this hypnosis and went, oh my gosh, I don't even know how it makes sense, but it does. And that's the funny thing, like in hypnosis, you're like, oh, it makes so much sense. It doesn't sound like it makes sense, but in our minds, we figure it out. And so long story bearable. I did the hypnosis. I woke up from it going, wow, I get it now. And listened to a recording. And from that recording, I reprogrammed my mind. I made new neural pathways that said, you want to do this. It makes sense. This feels good. You're doing this every day. And I did. And every day I did my exercise, which turned out to be just a minute of plank and 10 push-ups was enough. I told myself my metabolism was going sky high and rocketing, and without really changing my eating patterns or anything else, I just programmed my mind for my metabolism to go up and for me to be disinterested in the foods that were sabotaging me. And for me, that's crisps, for the salty, fried, snacky things. That's what gets me. So I just programmed my mind to be, frankly, disinterested in them. And I was.
Fantastic.
And without really much effort at all, I dropped, for me, a significant amount of weight in a short amount of time. And I lost about 20 pounds, which was close to 3 stone.
Yeah.
Is that right for you?
There are 14 pounds in a stone.
Oh, 14. Okay, so not quite 2 stone, but yeah.
Yeah, well done. I mean, that is such a story to share. So obviously you are behind your work, you've got the results to prove. And in my own personal journey, when it comes to smoking, even though you can sort of, use it together, really, it's that the removal of like just being disinterested in what you're doing. In your case, it's just food, and in my case, it was smoking. And my experience of going under hypnotherapy for smoking, I had that idea removed, and it was just like instant. It's amazing. It really is just transformational, and I cannot be behind the work enough. So again, if you are struggling with weight, do not struggle in silence. Do not struggle on your own. Sara definitely is your person that you should be having in your life in order to combat this problem that you might have once and for all. So how can people get to know about you and your work even more after our call today? How can they reach out to you?
Thank you. So I do have a website, and that is www.transformationalhypnosis.com. And on my site, I've got more information about what hypnosis is, the different modalities that I work in, because I do work with a couple of different types of modalities. And there is a link that you can book a discovery call. It's a free call. And it's just a chance for us to connect, for me to understand what your challenges are, and give you some suggestions, see if I can help you. It may be that I just give you one of these life hacks and you have success without going through a full hypnosis session, and that's great. I'm happy to share that with you. If you find yourself in a situation where it's not something that I can help you with, I am also happy to make a referral. I'm here to support anyone's journey the way that I can. But if you do find that hypnosis sounds like it may work for your challenge that you're trying to get through, that's great. I love working with all types of people across the globe. So you can find me on my website and go ahead and schedule a discovery call.
Lovely. That's awesome. Thank you ever so much, Sara. Definitely everyone take on board this great opportunity that Sara is offering, and you'll be seeing results soon, no doubt. Well, thank you, Sara. It's been a pleasure as always. Thank you ever so much for joining us today on the Soul Central Spotlight. We are here in the UK from 12 to 12:30 every Friday, and it's been fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jen. I'm so grateful to be here.
Yeah, awesome. Do you have any closing comments before we say goodbye?
Just, you're not alone. For people that are struggling, that have tried so many things in the past, and they feel like they're up against a brick wall, and they don't know what to do. They feel hopeless. You feel like you've tried many things and nothing has worked. You're not alone. Diets don't work. It's true. Diets do not work.
Yeah.
This does.
Yeah.
And if you feel like you've tried everything, you haven't. You haven't tried hypnosis.
There you go. Very strong close there. Thanks so much, Sara. That's awesome. Yeah, have a great weekend. And for everyone, the replay will be coming soon to the Soul Central group. And any questions, as always, feel free to reach out to myself or Sara. Thank you, Sara.
So
yeah, see you very soon, I'm sure. Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Yeah, cheers, everyone. Bye.
Bye.